This is Chris Medeiros. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Medeiros, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll all be down there in the description box, and I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw December 12th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Monday Night Raw. Now we kick off the show with the first match of the night. It was Bayley versus Alexa Bliss, one-on-one in a number one contenders match. Winner of this match will be taking on Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship soon. So yeah, here's what happened. So Bayley actually made her entrance with the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Dakota Kai and Io Sky, and they come down there to the ring with her. You know, they're about to be at ringside for this match, and they go on the apron and stuff. But then Becky Lynch comes up, attacking them, knocking Io off the apron and stuff, and throwing her over the barricade. And then Dakota comes up brawling with her, and then Dakota got thrown over the barricade as well. And then Becky grabs a steel chair and chases them through the crowd and stuff. So yeah, Damage Control was not going to be at ringside with Bayley for this match. And then Alexa Bliss comes out, and then we see the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair make her way down to watch this match from ringside. So yeah, we get to the match, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. Bayley was almost picking up the win a few times. She hit the Bayley to belly at one point, pinning her. 1, 2, Alexa kicked out at 2. Bayley starts getting frustrated while the referee was checking on Alexa. That's when she exposed the second turnbuckle and stuff. And, then Bianca comes up, and Bayley and Bianca starts arguing outside of the ring. Alexa Bliss comes up, try and get Bayley, but Bayley lays an elbow onto her and attack Bianca as well. Throws Alexa back into the ring. And then Alexa starts fighting back with Bayley. Drop kicks her into the corner. Pretty much Bayley hitting that exposed turnbuckle. And then Alexa Bliss climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with Twisted Bliss onto Bayley, and then pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Alexa Bliss defeated Bayley tonight and to become the number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship. So yeah, Alexa Bliss will now be taking on Bianca Belair sometime soon for the Raw Women's Championship. But yep, that's what happened there. And then Bianca comes in the ring congratulating Alexa Bliss. About to shake hands, and Alexa Bliss was like, no, screw that, let's go ahead and hug. And then as soon as both of them hugs each other, we see Bray Wyatt's logo popping up on the screen. Alexa Bliss, about to hit Sister Abigail then onto Bianca, but then they both looked at each other, and Alexa lets her go. So yeah, Bianca and Alexa were staring face to face pretty much, and Alexa Bliss quickly got out of the ring and stuff. So yeah, she's getting mind controlled by Bray Wyatt. But yep, that's what happened there. And for that match between Bayley and Alexa Bliss, I gotta give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good match to kick off Raw. So yeah, that's what happened there. But then we see another segment backstage where we see from earlier today that Byron Saxton was interviewing Chad Gable at Otis Alpha Academy. Chad Gable talking about what happened on Friday Night SmackDown with Kurt Angle and the milk truck and all that. And he says, how difficult it is to clean all the milk out of Otis's beard and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden they get interrupted by AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Mia Yim, the OC. Styles comes up and he goes like, look, Gable, you know how big you are down there in Japan after what happened on SmackDown. And Gable, starts getting mad at Styles. And he goes like, you know what? I want to face you one-on-one because you ain't that great no more. And then we get the match set. AJ Styles versus Chad Gable one-on-one up next on Raw. So yeah, that match is going to be happening up next. And yeah, many more stuff. Bobby Lashley will be taking on Seth Rollins one-on-one later on tonight. And a more contenders match as well. And many more stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. So we get to the next match of the night. It was AJ Styles with Luke Gallows and Mia Yim, the OC, versus Chad Gable with Otis Alpha Academy in a one-on-one match. So yeah, AJ Styles versus Chad Gable one-on-one. And it was pretty good. Gable was doing pretty good, laying in some German suplexes and stuff. He at one point locked on the ankle lock up until Styles fought out of that, obviously. And Gable was doing pretty good. We get to the ending of this match where Gable climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with the moonsault. Styles moves out the way, but Gable lands on his feet. Styles and knocks him down, then goes for that jackknife cover onto Gable, pins him 1, 2. Gable pushes him back over him, but then Styles was already over there by the legs, lifts Gable up, hitting the Styles Clash onto Chad Gable and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, AJ Styles defeated Chad Gable tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened. Really good match. If you haven't yet, go check it out. But it was a really good one-on-one match. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. I'll give it a pretty good match between Chad Gable and AJ Styles. Go check it out if you haven't yet. But yep, that's what happened there. And then we get to the next segment where we see Johnny Gargano backstage with Dexter Lumis, and they got like a freaking whiteboard with a drawing of both of them and the moon and astronauts, and I guess it's either chihuahuas or rats they got drawn, I don't know. And they was talking, but then Candice LeRae comes up talking to him, talking about what are y'all doing, and Johnny Gargano was talking about Dexter Lumis and his money or something like that. So yeah, that's what he was talking about, and Candice LeRae was like, okay, well I gotta go get ready for my match against Io Sky. So yeah, that's what Candice LeRae walks away and to go do, and she comes walking back to my the Christmas holidays is forgiving or something like that. So yeah, that's what she told Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano. But yep, they figure out what else to do with Dexter Lumis's money, I guess. So yeah, but then we go to the next part where we have the Judgment Day come on out, because up next we're going to be seeing Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio with Rhea Ripley, the Judgment Day, versus Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, and Akira Tozawa up next in a 6-man tag team match. So yeah, that match will be happening up next on Raw. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 6-man tag team match. It was Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio with Rhea Ripley at ringside, the Judgment Day, versus Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, and Akira Tozawa in a 6-man tag team match. And it was a pretty good 6-man tag team match. At the ending of this match, it was Dominic and Akira Tozawa tagged in. Both of them was going at it. We see a drop kick from Akira Tozawa off the second turnbuckle onto Dominic. That's when Finn Balor comes in the ring and he takes out Akira Tozawa. And then Montez Ford climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumping off with a crossbody onto Finn Balor, taking him out. Damian Priest comes in there, kicking him in the face, and then, Angelo Dawkins comes in, and both of them's going at it, and Damian Priest takes him out as well. And then Priest grabs Montez Ford, hitting that sit-out choke slam onto him, and then he clotheslines Angelo Dawkins over the top rope, and he was on the roll at that moment. And then Akira Tozawa comes up, throwing Damian Priest over the top rope, and then him and Dominic was going at it because Dominic rolls him up, but Akira Tozawa kicked out at 2. Dominic got thrown out the ring by Akira Tozawa. He runs to the ropes, comes back with a vicious suicide dive onto Dominic Mysterio, throws him back into the ring. And then we see Finn Balor coming in there, and then he gets hit with a DDT by Akira Tozawa, and then Dominic Mysterio gets back up, and he gets hit with another DDT by Tozawa as well. Akira Tozawa gets out the ring, climbs up the top turnbuckle to hit that senton off the turnbuckle, but then Damian Priest grabs him while the referee is distracted by Finn Balor. Priest grabs him, and he hits the Razor's Edge off the ring apron, throwing Akira Tozawa back into the ring, and Dominic goes for the pin, pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, the Judgment Day defeated the Street Profits and Akira Tozawa tonight in the 6-man tag team match. That's what happened. Pretty good match. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there, and the Judgment Day celebrated after that. But then we see Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis, at the stands and whatever, and he was talking about how Candice LeRae was right about giving and stuff. So they went to the stands and started buying a bunch of t-shirts and all that stuff. And, they said we're going to go give them out to some fans or something. And we see Dexter Lumis give one thing to, this one kid as well. So, yeah, that's what they're doing, the money right there. But later on tonight on Raw, we will see Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins one-on-one in a number 1 contenders match later on tonight on Raw. And many more stuff. Candice LeRae versus Io Sky one-on-one. And, yeah. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, now we have another segment where we see Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis make their way down to the ring. pretty much just passing out gifts to the fans and stuff. That's what they're doing. They go out there passing out T-shirts and stuff like that to little kids and all that. But then all of a sudden the Miz comes up attacking him, knocking Gargano off the announce table and stuff, and then he steals the money. He gets in the ring, reveals himself as the Miz, and then he runs out, running up the ramp, and then Adam Pearce comes up to him, no, you're going to go back into that ring and give Dexter his money back. And he makes Miz go back into the ring, and he goes like, go ahead and give him back the money. Now, Miz like he was about to give him back the money, but then Miz jerks her away. He's like, no, this is my money. So, yeah, that's what Miz was doing. And then Johnny Gargano whispers something in Dexter Lumis' ear. Dexter Lumis throws the thumbs up, and he goes like, well, how about this? You and Dexter Lumis have as a rematch next week for the money, but in a ladder match. And we double it. Since you want Dexter's money, you got to put your money on the line as well in the ladder match. And Miz was like, I can't do it because Maurice holds the finances and all that stuff. She gives me like a weekly allowance. And then Gargano was like, oh, okay, cool. Still try to get the money. And Miz was like, okay, I'm going to try to get the money. So yeah, that's what happened. Challenge accepted. And Johnny Gargano was like, well, while you're at it, you got to dress up as Santa's little helper and pass out the rest of the gifts. And Miz was like, I don't want to do it. Adam Pearce was like, yeah, you go and do it. And Miz gets out and he starts passing around gifts. So yeah, that's what happened. Well, a match is officially, announced now for next week, a ladder match. So yeah. But yep, up next we're going to be seeing Candice LeRae versus Io Sky 1-on-1 up next. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Monday Night Raw now was a 1-on-1 match. It was one half for the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Io Sky with Dakota Kai and Bayley, Damage Control at ringside, versus Candice LeRae 1-on-1. Now Bayley was on commentary for this match, and it was an okay match between Candice LeRae and Io Sky, going back and forth and everything. But we seen a nice ass DDT from Candice LeRae onto Io Sky, which was pretty cool. But then we get to that very ending of this match where they're on the second turnbuckle. Candice LeRae trying to hit her finisher move, the swinging neck breaker onto Io Sky off the second turnbuckle. Io Sky held onto the ropes and Candice LeRae went flying off, pretty much smacking her back on the mat. And then Io Sky was already up there. She jumps off with a moonsault onto Candice LeRae and pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Io Sky defeated Candice LeRae tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. It was an okay match. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. But yep, that's what happened there. And then we see another segment where we see, what happened last week with Matt Riddle getting taken out by Solo Sikoa. And then we see Kevin Owens. He's getting interviewed. And, they was asking him about Matt Riddle getting attacked last week. He was like, it's unfortunate that he got attacked last week because I had to deal with the Usos. But Solo Sikoa is a dangerous man and all that. But then he hears the guitar playing. And it was Elias. He comes up, and I liked how they didn't even forget about the freaking storyline. Thank God. Kevin Owens, Elias was like, would you be at ringside with me for my match against Solo Sikoa? And Kevin Owens was like, do you think I forgot what happened earlier this year, what you've been doing to me? Put me through torment and stuff throughout half of the year this year? No, I didn't forget. And then, Elias was like, that was my younger brother and all that. And Kevin Owens was like, I don't believe you. You're Elias. You're Ezekiel. And then Elias was like, no, for real, it was my younger brother and all that. And Kevin Owens was like, do you think I even forgot that you smashed me over the head with the guitar? And Elias was like, well, look, you took out my brother, so I had to take you out. And Kevin Owens was like, but you smashed me in the head with a guitar. Not that guitar that you're holding, another guitar, which is already smashed. And Elias was like, well, here, would you be at ringside for me? And Kevin Owens looks at him, he walks away. Comes back, looks at him, walks away. So, yeah, that's what happened there. I like how they didn't forget the storyline right there, but yeah, that was great. But up next, it'll be Solo Sikoa versus Elias 1-on-1 up next on Raw. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Monday Night Raw. Now, before we talk about the match with Elias and Solo Sikoa, we got to talk about the first segment. Before that, Elias comes out, and it looks like he's having like a funeral for Matt Riddle and stuff. Now, Matt Riddle, I got injured last week on Raw, and he'll be out for like 6 weeks. But apparently, in all reality, it was a drug violation, so he's actually suspended. So yeah, but yeah, Elias was like, you know what? I'm gonna play a song for Riddle. He was charismatic and all that, and we actually got closer because he loved music and I love music and all that. And I found something in his locker room. He pulls out, it looks like a freaking joint, but then raps in. It was a song that Matt Riddle wrote, and Elias starts singing and stuff. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he says the word solo, Solo Sikoa comes out with Sami Zayn. So yeah, Sami Zayn's at ringside, and it was a one-on-one match, Elias versus Solo Sikoa. We get that match underway. Both of them's going at it and stuff. We get to the ending of this match where Solo Sikoa is trying to hit the Samoan drop onto Elias, but Elias pushes him to the ropes and hits that jumping knee to the face onto him, and then he turns around hitting a neck breaker, like his neck landing on his shoulder type neck breaker onto him, and then he pins him 1-2 Solo, barely kicking out at 2. Sami Zayn starts talking crap to Elias. Elias is paying attention to him at that point. Solo Sikoa grabs Elias, but Elias reverses it, grabbing him from behind, rolling him up, but Solo kicking out at 2. Solo grabs Elias, throws him to the turnbuckle. Elias jumps up and Solo grabs him, captures him by the legs, throws him over the top rope, and Elias got somewhat caught up on the top rope and was about to fall and stuff, but luckily he saved himself. So yeah, he was on the ring apron, and then he gets hit with a super kick by Solo Sikoa. Solo grabs him, brings him back into the ring, and hits spinning Solo onto him, pinning him for the 1-2-3. So yeah, Solo Sikoa defeated Elias tonight on Raw. That's what happened for that match. I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then after the match ended, Solo Sikoa starts attacking Elias, beating him down and stuff. Sami Zayn picks Elias up, and Solo grabs him, hitting the Samoan spike onto him, laying him out. They grab a steel chair, puts it around his head, and they had him sitting at the turnbuckle. So yeah, it looks like Solo Sikoa was going to do the same thing to Elias, just like what he did to Matt Riddle last week. And when he goes to the corner, about to hit that hip attack while the chair is wrapped around Elias' head, Kevin Owens comes running out, kicks Solo in the stomach, and hits a stunner onto him, which sends Solo out of the ring. And then Sami Zayn runs out the ring as well because he didn't want none of them. And yeah, Kevin Owens grabs a steel chair, that's around Elias' head, and he's waiting for Solo to get back in the ring. Solo's trying to get back in the ring, but Sami Zayn had to hold him back and stuff. So yeah, that's what happened there. Elias comes up, puts his hand on Kevin Owens' shoulders, and then Kevin Owens kicks him in the stomach and hits a stunner as well onto him, laying him out. So yeah, Kevin Owens didn't forget what happened with the Ezekiel thing. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though, not gonna lie. But yeah, later on tonight we will see Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins 1-on-1 in a number one contenders match in the main event for tonight's Monday Night Raw. But up next it will be Asuka versus Rhea Ripley 1-on-1 up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was Asuka versus Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio at ringside, the Judgment Day. So yeah, Rhea Ripley versus Asuka 1-on-1. It was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. We get to the ending of this match where Asuka lays out Rhea Ripley and stuff, and then her and Dominic goes face to face outside the ring, and then Asuka was trying to kick Dominic upside the head, but Dominic ducks down and starts backing away from Asuka and stuff, scared and all that stuff, and Rhea Ripley grabs her and runs her into the ring apron, throws her back into the ring. She starts checking on Dominic and stuff. Dominic's like, go ahead and get in there and finish the job. And Rhea Ripley gets back into the ring. As soon as she gets into the ring, Asuka tries to hit a big roundhouse kick onto her, but she ducks, and then Rhea Ripley grabs her, try to hit the riptide onto her, but Asuka goes over her, locking on the Asuka lock onto Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's trying to fight out of it and get the ropes or something, but then Dominic grabs Ripley's foot, drags her, and puts her foot on the bottom rope, calls for the referee, telling her that, her foot's on the rope. The referee tells him to get off the apron, breaks at the submission after that. And yeah, Asuka was getting pissed off about that crap from Dominic. Dominic gets on the ring apron, distracting Asuka and all that stuff. And then Asuka had enough and spits mist into his face. And then after she done spit and mist in his face, Rhea Ripley grabs Asuka from behind, runs her into Dominic, which knocked Dominic off the ring apron, and then Rhea Ripley hits the riptide onto Asuka and then pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka tonight on Raw. That's what happened. It was a pretty good match. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. And yeah, Rhea Ripley had to go out there and check on Dominic and everything because, you know, he's crying about he got some mist in his eyes. But yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff, though. But, yep. And then after that, we see Bobby Lashley getting ready for his match for later on tonight because tonight he'll be taking on Seth Rollins one-on-one in a number 1 contenders match tonight in the main event for Raw. So yeah, that match is still to come later on tonight in the main event. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, now before I talk about the main event, there was a few segments before that. Now we had Dominic Mysterio backstage. Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor and Damian Priest comes up as well, checking on him because he got some mist in his eyes and, you know, to try and clean out the mist. So yeah, that's what happened right there. Pretty funny stuff right there. But yeah, after that, we get to another segment where we see Dolph Ziggler. He's talking about the United States Championship, how it's not just a title, it's more than that, and talking about the title and everything. And then he starts talking about Austin Theory, how he's not a true champion, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Dolph Ziggler was talking about. But then we get to the main event. It was Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley, one-on-one in a number 1 contenders match. Winner of this match will be facing Austin Theory whenever for the United States Championship. So yeah, that's what this match was about, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. We get to the ending of this match after we see Lashley hitting Rollins into the ring post while he has him on his shoulders. He throws him back into the ring. Lashley was grabbing Rollins, but Rollins rolls him up. 1, 2. Lashley kicks out at 2, but Lashley's on his knees after that. He gets hit with a super kick to the face by Rollins. Rollins pins him, but he kicks out at 2 again. Rollins climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with a frog splash onto him, pins him, but he kicks out at 2 again. And then Lashley gets, Rollins was trying to hit the curb stomp onto Lashley, but he was just too strong for him to go down after he done gas foot onto the back of his head. And then Rollins tried to hit the curb stomp again, but Lashley moves out the way. Lashley grabs him, hits a power slam onto him, and then he locks him into the Hurt Lock immediately, trying to make him tap out. Seth Rollins starts backing him into the corner, but then the referee's behind him, so he was trying to avoid it, so he jumped out the ring and apparently hurt his ankle outside of the ring with the landing and stuff, and Rollins runs Lashley into the turnbuckles and stuff, breaking up the Hurt Lock. Rollins turns around, he gets hit with a spear by Lashley. Lashley goes for the pin. The referee gets back into the ring slowly, counts the pin. 1, 2, Seth Rollins barely kicking out at 2. And then Lashley goes up to the referee complaining and stuff, and the referee's trying to tell him, like, hey, I was trying to avoid y'all and stuff, and I got my ankle hurt and all that, so it ain't my fault. And then Lashley was setting up for the spear again. He runs, tried to spear onto Rollins, but Rollins jumps up, hitting a pedigree onto Lashley, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Seth Rollins defeated Bobby Lashley tonight on Raw. That's what happened. Pretty good match. And then, after the match ended, Lashley gets up. He starts talking junk to that referee and stuff. Another referee comes into the ring, try to get Lashley to back off, but he gets hit with the elbow to the face, getting knocked out. And then Lashley is like, oh crap. And then Adam Pearce comes running down. And then Adam Pearce is like, do you remember what I told you last week? And Bobby Lashley was like, I don't want to hear it, get away from me. Adam Pearce kept on getting in his face, telling him, hey, don't walk away while I'm talking to you. Bobby Lashley pushes him to the barricade, and then Adam Pearce is like, you know what, you're fired. And Adam Pearce walks away, and Lashley was like, what, I'm fired? And then Raw goes off there. So yeah, that's what happened there. Bobby Lashley got fired, and Seth Rollins is the number 1 contender for the United States Championship. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. For the main event, I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. That was match of the night, in my opinion, probably. So yeah, that's why I'll give it. But yeah, for tonight's Monday Night Raw, I'll give it 7 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good episode for Raw. But yeah. So yeah, that's been my Monday Night Raw reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. They'll all be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Wednesday's AEW Dynamite reviews and this Friday's Friday Night SmackDown reviews. See you guys later. Until then.